Season 5, Episode 11, the GFA Hopper and the Dirty Hippy Fly. Let's go!
As the COVID-19 pandemic swept across the world, people were forced to stay indoors and practice social distancing.
For many, this meant a loss of connection and community.
But for the fly fishing / tying enthusiasts of the world, it was a chance to come together in a new and meaningful way.
TNL was a fly tying show that had gained a dedicated following over the years.
Every Thursday night, people from all over the world would tune in to watch the hosts, Tim and Dana, as they shared tips, techniques, and stories about their love of fly fishing and fly tying.
As the pandemic hit, Tim and Dana knew that their show could be a source of comfort and connection for their viewers.
They kept doing their virtual fly tying workshops, encouraging their audience to participate and share their own experiences.
And participate they did.
The TNL family quickly grew, as people from all walks of life found solace in the shared passion for fly fishing.
They gathered online every Thursday night, eager to learn, share, and connect with others who understood the joy and peace that fly fishing brings.
Through TNL, the fly fishing community was able to find a sense of belonging and purpose during a difficult and uncertain time.
And as the pandemic waned and life slowly returned to normal, the TNL fam remained a close-knit and supportive group, bonded together by their love of fly fishing and the outdoors. Join Tim and Dana as they embark on their 5th season of TNL Fly Tying.
I thought we weren't coming in.
I know, it was weird.
It went to a straight up black screen. And today, folks, it's Thursday. And you know what that means?
It's time to
Thursday.
tie some flies?
Tie some flies. Tell some lies.
Oh.
Let's talk about the first lie.
You're so gorgeous.
No, it's like,
different one. Oh.
Let's talk about a lie.
I know. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
That is the truth, Tim. You've told me that before the show. You wanted me to check if that thing was on.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. Is it on?
I was clearly going to go into the live stream checking to make sure it was on.
Oh, yeah. Nothing but lies.
But yeah,
here.
what's tonight? What's the theme of tonight? Tim, tell everyone.
Well, the theme of tonight is we didn't talk about a theme.
What are you drinking?
Yeah, what are you drinking?
Where are you from? And which platform are you tuning in on?
Yeah.
YouTube or Facebook? There's a big debate out there.
What would you choose if you were spectating?
It's a good... Oh, gosh, I love Facebook because it's essentially more personal.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you got your Facebook, but the YouTube might be a touch quicker.
Yeah.
And having said that...
That's advantageous at times. A little bit of speed.
Yeah. So anyways, I'm Tim Hepworth.
Oh, look at that. See, when I
everything
was telling
is
you
backwards.
you were gorgeous,
Everything's backwards, Tim. That's why that black screen popped in earlier.
Oh, look at this.
Because it was switching us around.
That's interesting.
Well,
I guess
having said that, let's check out what Looks like I'm tying the flies tonight.
Oh, boy.
Looks like I'm Tim.
I mean,
and check this out. Hey, you know
Oh, what's up? Dana here.
Let's
Dana
see
here.
here. If we look at each other,
Oh,
we
man.
don't look at each other, and it's all backwards. So I'm pretending I'm looking at you now, right? Essentially, what we realized
strange.
is the theme of the night is backwards
Oh,
night.
I see what you did there.
You know what I'm
You're
saying?
very clever. I mean, you're very clever.
But I'm not there and you're not here.
No.
So how are we going to do this?
Well,
Let's restart the show.
what is happening? What is happening?
Oh, right. Okay.
I don't even know how it does it.
I saved Scooter a seat and he's showing up, which
Yeah.
is great. So sometimes
I'm
when I
saved.
wear these wigs,
That's a wig? You've been lying to us?
so we got to get back to the
Yeah,
people.
that's the important
we
part.
got Dean. We got Fly Fisher 54. I believe he's coming to the. I'm drinking a mojito from our friends at Fallen. They don't know they're our friends.
They don't know
We're
we're
their
friends. We're
friend.
friends.
They're not our friend yet.
Yeah, they will be.
Fallen Timber Meadery.
Meadery.
That seems to be what we always drink.
We talked about maybe growing up one day and drinking real beer, but
Well,
it's just
March 25th is when
Yeah,
you come to
okay.
town to see IF4 with us.
Yeah.
It is a full day event. Starts in the morning at 9. We'll get to the news scene. But anyways, that's the day when we will drink beer.
okay. It's a deal. We'll be drinking some real stout stuff, the dark stuff.
I'm on a fitness journey, Tim.
Well,
I'm trying to
we all are.
fitness and
Fitness. Well, those
fitness
wigs?
and fitness in my shirts and my pants. Understanding
That's a
that
pretty nice shirt you
rowing
got there.
season. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I like it. Who's that? Oh, looks like Captain Glitch. Look at that. I wonder what the wizard's going to think of that.
Oh, is he back?
Well, I think he's back.
I think his flight got delayed.
Well, I
He
doubt that very
literally
much.
went into the cockpit and stole the pilot's wife. He said,
does that.
That is a prize that I will take home with me.
I wonder how that worked out.
I don't
for him.
know. And then he made the pilot choose a door on the plane, which one he wanted to get out. And that's the end of the pilot. All right, so we didn't get to say hi to everyone. But what we do know, Tim, is something really cool here.
Something real cool. Oh, whose birthday? We know
John
whose birthday.
Owner
Mr. Honorati.
Birthday.
What's up, brother? Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, John. If it's your birthday, let us know in the comments, and we will be super happy.
Happy birthday.
We will be super happy and excited to wish you and your birthday
To you.
to you.
Happy birthday. Hey, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. You are a handsome 20-year-old looking man.
John isn't 20. He might be 40.
No.
I think he's 39.
39.
How do you think? How old? I think he's 25.
Well, I've never seen anything but his profile picture, but I'm going to put my bet in at 29.
I've stared at his behind for a whole day.
Yeah?
I guided him. That's. I don't remember. It's. Let's just say he didn't have a memorable bum.
Okay. Well, that's probably good.
I said bum.
Bum. Okay.
Ritzko's in the house. Cody Frankie, Patty Poirier. They're all here to wish John a happy birthday. George Norton, Bruce Cole, Ryan Pacific,
Yes, sir.
Kenny, Cole, Craig, the mayor's in town, Mr. Dickow. That's the birthday song, folks.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that's what
that's good.
happens when it's your birthday. Roger Beatty's here. Travis Wade is here.
Yeah. I saw Aaron's in the house tonight.
Oh, Novland. Mr. Novland's here. FB tonight on McKenna. What's up, Cody? J.M. Reed watching from Lethbridge. Hitting the Old Man Tailwater tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Welcome. I don't recognize that name. Maybe we need a round of clicks for Mr. J.M. Reed. Round of clicks for Reed.
Either way.
Whatever.
remember
Round
him.
of clicks. We'll take
Clicks
it.
all
Cam's
day.
here. He's done his school. We're way behind. See, we got mojitos down in Dutchess.
All right. We got him.
Because when you get older and you can't quite handle the brewskis,
Yeah,
your stomach.
something a little lighter.
How's your stomach?
We'll wait till we get to the wins to talk about that.
Oh, Trevor's white cord. Theo's here.
Theo, what's up,
Round
man?
of clicks for
oh,
Theo.
so good to see you, buddy.
Welcome,
What is up?
Theo.
Another guide
Justin
school
Fisher's
client.
here too.
No,
Guys,
both
look
of them
at
in the
this
same
dude,
night?
Yeah.
No way. That's 2 weeks in a row he showed up.
I know. He's not feeling well. Well, he is. You're not feeling well. Mr. Teague's back. Jeff Christensen. I think that's a round of clicks. That's a name I don't recognize in the comments. So when you're new, we say, how are you?
And clickaroo.
And we clickaroo. Theo's got some gin tonic with cider watching on YouTube. Cam's 35 beer deep tonight. Nothing new. Adrian he loves every time he wants the shirts.
He does. He loves the shirts.
Size a little bigger than Tim's weenie. Wears.
Put my order in for one. A little bigger. You're not that much bigger than me, buddy.
How much snow you get? Well, we had a lot this week, but it's starting to get nice out, and that's just what it's all about. We're going to try some flies.
Yeah.
The Dirty Hippy Fly, which might be one of my new favorite streamer patterns if it works.
Don't know, but if it does,
it
does look good.
Wow. Oof.
Yep.
Anyways, it looks like a little brown trout, and you know what time of the year it is?
28.
28.
Close.
What'd you say? 52?
I said 26.
Oh, I said 25.
Yeah.
I didn't get enough. Happy birthday, John. The happy birthdays are coming out. Jillian's here. Eric's drinking some dry fly bourbon. Uno Zero Uno.
Interesting.
I don't know if Quinn Styles is here.
Well, if he is, he better say so.
He probably doesn't say anything. He just lurks in the background, but he's supposed to be here watching with us. Chaz is in the house.
What's up,
Steve
Chaz?
Tcheniak. Evening, folks. Sitting in Calgary with an FBC
finish line.
Claude's here, and I believe you saw Claude.
I did see Claude this week.
Wow, that's a good week for you.
Yes, indeed. I saw Clint was there as well, saying hello and goodbye.
Oh, so that's super quick. In and out, Clint. Where'd you see that?
Up
How
further.
did I miss that?
It was right there.
Oh, just bopping in to say hi. We'll have to catch this one on the quick tie. Hope to join next week live. Well, Clint.
Yeah.
We all have choices in life.
Make the right
And
one.
your choice is to what, Tim? Anyways, we were going to talk about something that we forgot to talk about last week.
Well, why are you saying this now? I can't remember.
It was about some things that we were drinking a lot of.
Corona?
No, not sweaty balls and
I don't know. What are you talking about?
a lot of people reached out about the amount of tequila that was consumed.
Oh, well.
So we forgot to do something at the end of that show, which was Tim was supposed to chug the rest of the tequila bottle because it wasn't tequila.
It was not tequila.
It was straight Dos Equis.
Yeah. Could you imagine if we had to drink that much tequila?
Oh, man.
The show would not have gone as long, for sure.
You guys know Tim gets 3 beers deep, actual beers, not these actually kick you harder than beers. But anyways, that's why we got really hydrated last week, folks. And
thank you for the concern.
The whole plan was to where did my mouse go again?
It's probably over.
There it is.
Over there.
There it is. The whole plan was to finish the show off with Tim drinking that and passing out, and we forgot to do all the above. Probably because I was rattled at the jet boil pan.
Yeah, you were. But you did good.
Threw me off.
The hover method.
Threw me off.
At least we know it can be done.
That taco meat was
Yeah, I got to admit.
epic.
That
All
was
right.
pretty good food.
Well, that's what we love to do here is just keep rambling. So let's head on over to the news scene and check out what's in store for you guys in the next week.
Oh.
This is good for reversal night because Tim's down there and I'm up here and
This is so
everything is backwards.
Backwards. But not your Flango card because it's still valid.
It is still valid.
You should definitely get one
And
if you don't already.
have one and you're coming to March 25th, IF4, this bingo card will be the only way that you have a chance to win.
Oh, that is important news. You're going to want to have that.
Breaking news. So
Breaking
these
news.
bingo cards, they're valid until March 26th, which means March 25th is IF4, and you can use your bingo card if you want to win. It's going to be fishing trips. There's going to be lots of really cool stuff.
Yeah. Be some good giveaways.
Really cool stuff.
Not going to want to miss that.
You don't want to miss that, and
Nope.
that starts at 9 a.m. So make sure you get head over. Everywhere here tells you how to get a bingo card. They're free. absolutely
Free? Poorly timed.
what?
Free? Absolutely freaking free.
It's free, Tim, isn't it?
It's always free.
Always free. Every time you play Flango with us.
It's free. It is free. 100% free. Not 99%. Not 99%. 100%. So free. Is there a code for the palm during IF4? Yeah, well, the palm is sold out. So there's a code for the streets called... I didn't even get in the palm. Nope. Not even the VIP status you are. That is not free. That's not free. You're at the Cecil down the street. Yeah, siesta. Siesta, that's what it is. Well, Tim, Bren, Trish, and the bed bugs. That's not funny. Oh, maybe Tim will find a new favorite pattern in his bed. Yeah. Insects for life.
I like it.
All right. Why am I not off?
Well,
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I'm stuck here.
You're stuck
No,
here.
I won't be stuck here.
Not forever.
So, make sure you get your bingo cards because there they are.
Yes, you're going to need one of them.
What's next? Well, Tim, why don't you tie us? What are we tying tonight? What's the thread and how do we get ready to make the best of the flies?
Best of the best of the
In
flies.
your packages.
All right, well, tonight, guys, we are going through a couple of cool patterns. That first one there is the Dirty Hippy Fly, and that one is going to come up first. I'm going to use the same thread for both flies, so I'm going to use some UTC 140, and I'm just going to stick with a dark brown because it works for both patterns, but something in the dark genre would be good, and color, and a little bit heavier thread for working with the foam and the streamer. Our next fly is going to be the GFA Hopper, which is a general foam attractor hopper. And I'm going to use the same thread. I'm going to use that dark thread. And that one's going to be a real quick and easy one, but super fun to do. So those are our flies for this evening.
Hey, look who's here, Mr. Holcomb.
Oh, stranger.
Yeah, it's been a while, but Mr. Mark Holcomb is in the house, folks. So we almost got to give a round of clicks because he's essentially like a new guy.
I knew. Got to start over.
He's like a new guy. New guy's in the house. Are we still live? What's happening here? Yes, we're live.
We're live.
All right, so what's next on the docket? Well, we've got some announcements for you guys.
Yes.
And the first big announcement, which is epically awesome for all the people who live within 3,000 miles of Olds, Alberta, Canada.
Ooh, what's this? Free
Fly fishing lesson day. You keep getting me. It's free, Tim. It's free. 100% free. So free. Too much free stuff. What's the best part about free? It doesn't cost anything. The free part. Just like this entire show, it's all free if you want it to be, and the fly fishing lessons will be 100% free also. So free. Yeah. So what do you need to do to get into them? I think you just got to sign up. We don't know yet.
Spoke too soon.
I just put you on the spot.
Yeah, that's fine. I had an answer.
So yeah, put that down in your calendars. April 22nd is essentially when... It's not essentially, it's factually. We've got that whole day slotted aside to give to you guys 100% great experience and teach you fly fishing.
Yeah.
Something like this. There'll be a little introduction to fly fishing. There'll be some history of fly fishing. There are reviews of the gear and equipment. We'll talk about fly fishing techniques. We'll teach you a little bit how to read the water. When I say a little bit, it's because like these kits, you might tie 5 flies and you might burn all the material in 4 or 3. So we're going to go over the basics of reading the water. We're going to talk a little bit about entomology and fly selection. We're going to talk about a couple knots and how to rig up your general rigs. We're going to show you some casting techniques. We're going to go a little bit into the fly fishing etiquette and safety
Good points.
area. Yep. We're going to touch a little bit on the conservation and ethics. Isn't it weird I said touch on and then I brought up ethics?
Yeah, that's...
Nobody's going to get touched at
Nope.
this event.
No.
And then we're going to conclude this with a round of clicks.
Yeah.
You should expect the course to run 2 to 3 hours.
Yep.
It's going to be some practical. There's going to be some impractical. And what does that mean?
It's all practical.
It's all practical. So, yeah, you don't just show up like Rocky Mountain Fly Shop suggested. We will have... Just answering
you're
some of
reading
those,
the
and we
questions.
don't need new ones. But basically, we're going to have a sign-up sheet. We're going to get all that ready. A lot of our time right now is getting focused on March 25th.
Yep.
Do you see that segue?
It was very good. I like it a lot.
Gold.
Because this is going to be an event you do not want to miss out on next week.
Never. Invite your friends, your grandma. There's still some tickets available.
Yep. Definitely want to show up, guys. It's going to be not just a normal I-4. We really do truly want this to be kind of a full day event, starting with a breakfast and going throughout the day watching the I-4, and then heading over to Trax Pub after and just being able to have some time to
so
fellowship.
the pancake breakfast is going to be brought by Mr. Brent Struthers and his friend Brendan.
Yes.
Colin got a whole bunch of bacon, enough to feed 100 people, donated by the Friends Next Door. Redneck Meats, I believe, next door to Rocky Mountain Fly Shop. They donated all this bacon.
Awesome.
And then we're gonna go get the pancake stuff. We're just gonna be flipping jacks and making bacon. So looks like Cam, that kind of worked.
Yeah.
Cam needs a ticket. So yeah, Cam, you can still purchase them online, and you can still purchase them at Rocky Mountain Fly Shop for $20. And if you do come to the door without one, they're $25. $25. All right, so you see we went from free to $20, and now we've kind of stepped up the events.
One more time.
In
Western
in the
Canadian
way.
Fly Fishing Guide School.
Yeah, and so there's maybe 2 spots left, Tim.
Yeah, it is actually booking, which is awesome. So
Yeah.
if you want or have any interest in doing this course, not just for those who want to be a guide, but if you have any interest at all, reach out. We're both more than willing to share with you more about it and why you should probably be there, even if you're asking questions.
Yeah, inquire. So a couple spots left for that. So that's basically what we got left for the news. It's 7:22. We're 3 minutes ahead of schedule.
Look at that.
Like we had a schedule.
never
So
had a
yeah,
schedule.
we're gonna jump in to the Dirty Hippy Fly. So like Tim said earlier, you're gonna put on some UTC 140 in brown-ish, and get that package undone. Remember, when the packages come, some of the materials might be a little bit crinkled.
Yeah, you kind of have to get them in these small bags. So
But yeah, so we had an aha moment with this fly. After everything was done, gone, sent out, Colin introduced us to some of Shore's
Couple
new
different things,
couple new materials that Shore has. A fin raccoon.
that was a good choice, as well as this guy here. We all know Arctic Fox, but very similar.
Yeah.
That's great as well. But we're going to tie it with a couple of different materials today.
Yeah, so
Looks okay.
interestingly enough, Tim did give it a try with the raccoon.
Yeah.
And actually is an interestingly awesome addition. I don't say substitute, addition to changing up some of the patterns. Because materials can be interchanged if they have the same qualities.
Yeah.
Which is why they have synthetic materials and they have real materials. Which we showed you on the Lefty's Deceiver. Instead of using bucktail, we had a synthetic material, which might have been a little bit of a struggle for some people, but hey, the fly works and hopefully catches fish. We're going to head over, say thanks to our sponsors.
Yeah.
Without much further ado, though, we've got to check in with the Bacon Cam.
Did you say bacon cam?
Bacon Cam.
That's what it looks
if
like.
If you can't get baking, you get bacon.
I'll take bacon.
So this is James, the master chef down at Rocky Mountain Fly Shop right now. So if you don't go to the fly tying nights that Rocky Mountain Fly Shop puts on for
free,
then you're missing out, because this is the kind of stuff they do down there. It's just community, and they got the smoker out, and James is making some of this stuff.
Some of that stuff.
And eventually, he starts to do more things to them.
Jeez, that looks delicious.
Yeah. And what's on the smoker?
That looks like cream cheese to me.
Oh, remember
that?
that?
That was so
Oh
good.
my goodness. So, well, that's kind of enough of that. Make sure you guys get out your flies. We're going to tie the Dirty Hippie. We're going to say thanks to our sponsors. Then we'll be back into tying some flies with Mr. Tim Hepworth.
Hepworth.
But legit, you call.
our vision for it is for people to come out here to enjoy the spot and to find peace, I guess. Like, a lot of people ask us if we're gonna get Wi-Fi out here, and we're like, no, like this is a place to disconnect and reconnect with your family and with yourself and just find quiet.
Look who's up there. You get to hear my voice, but you get to look at him.
That's not true, Tim.
What? Come on.
I know how to fix this. I work here.
No. Oh, I just ruined it. Okay, that's all right.
I know what to do.
Okay, guys, so what we got here is our Dirty Hippy Fly. So this fly, at first glances, you might think, hey, this is a saltwater pattern. It's not what it was created for. Charlie Craven actually created this fly, named it after his wife. I'm not sure why.
Because she was a dirty hippie is literally what he said.
But it actually has a cone head and some weight tied in the middle. He wanted this fly to be very carry some weight, but have very little material, so it didn't hold a lot of water. So it's a very, very interesting fly. I haven't fished it personally, but I'm definitely going to now that I've tied it a bunch of times. I'll say this, when you're tying it, and you get the materials on there, it doesn't look like a whole lot at first, but like we went and got it wet and looked at it, and it's like once everything kind of gets wet and comes together, it really becomes like a streamline, kind of looks more like a bait fish minnow, and it really has a great appearance. It's gonna look something like that in the water.
Interesting cone placement. So if you're sitting there wondering, why do I have a cone in my package?
Yep. You're about to find out.
We're about to find out.
Okay, so go ahead and break open your, believe it or not, episode 11 kit, and we're gonna go ahead and grab out the appropriate.
So if you're following along, there's also we have kits packaged that we've built to tie these. There's also singular kits that you can purchase at Rocky Mountain Fly Shop, which are there. They're on their website. You can go check that out. And then if you get that package next week, you just scan on that and it pops up and says, hey.
This is where you go.
It went backwards again. Switch spots.
So good.
But what I really want you to know is you can follow along if you don't get a kit. You just got to go to the website, and the whole entire material list will be on the website, and that's easy to do. You just go get all your materials. You can look at what the next 6 episodes hold. Go get all your materials from your local fly shop, and Bob's your uncle.
Bob is my uncle. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this hook placed in here. You are going to want to get that cone on there ahead of time. Although we aren't going to place the cone up at the very front of this fly, it is going to sit farther back. But what we're going to do first is we're going to just pull that forward, and you also have some lead weight in your...
Question about which jaws are you using tonight?
Yeah, so these are the shank jaws for the Norweiss. You'll see, I don't think I've changed these once all season. These are my favorite jaws. They imitate these jaws here, which are the midge jaws, but these guys kind of sit at a bit of an off angle, which I've never really enjoyed. But they still have the same fine tip. These ones just are also capable of holding an actual shank. So I prefer these ones. If I'm tying really big flies, I will go over to this guy here, which is actually the plus size or the large jaw, large standard jaw. But other than that, I tie everything, on this guy here. So that's what it is. I'm going to come in here with this lead wrap. Okay, and I'm just going to basically place one finger and hold it, and I'm just going to do some lead wraps. It doesn't really matter how much you do. If you're doing more, then you're going to have a little bit heavier fly, but the big part of having some of this on there is it's going to stabilize that cone. So I did whatever it is, 6 or 7 wraps there. I'm going to go over and grab my Dana scissors and cut that out. I'm going to make sure that edge is nice and secured there. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to push it up into the cone, and I'm gonna wiggle these back and forth until I find the spot I'm looking for. And what I'm looking for is if my cone is all the way back, that I have roughly a quarter of the hook shank in front of the fly, because we're gonna tie the entire fly in front of the cone. Seems kind of crazy because there's not a lot of space there, but that's where we're gonna be tying it all. So I'm gonna leave roughly that quarter of the hook shank, trust me, it's more than enough space, in front there, and I'm happy with that. I'm gonna go ahead and pull my cone back out of the way, go grab my thread, start my thread just in front of that wire, hop up onto the wire after I trim out this thread. Now brace that thread so it doesn't move on you. Hop your thread up on top of it. Start taking some thread wraps through it. We want to secure that so it's not going to go anywhere, making sure I got my measurement right. It's good. I'm just going to take a whole bunch of thread wraps over top of that wire. Just really securing it. We just don't want it to go anywhere. And we're not going to worry about taking much for thread wraps any further down the hook shank. But there. Then we're going to bring this back up. We're going to pull that cone right up into, so it's seated. And then I'm going to take a couple thread wraps back. I'm going to grab that cone like this, pull it forward, and just pass my thread to in front of the cone and get a nice few wraps right in front of it. So now
question here.
Yep.
So just wondering if it would make sense to half hitch behind the cone, given that when you cross over the cone, at one point, could that cone cut the thread behind the cone?
I don't disagree. It could. You can see where I've cross wrapped over top of it. My opinion on this is actually by doing this, it holds the cone in place. So if I were just to come in front of it, that cone would still want to wiggle like this. Whereas when it has that thread tension against it, it doesn't seem to want to.
So if you half hitched and then came forward, so if it did ever cut, the back wouldn't unravel.
Yeah, you could.
But did you put UV on it?
No, I haven't, but I will.
There we go. That's what I was looking for, because Tim always has his bases covered.
Oh, yes, of course. So, like Dana said, once I cross back in front, I'm going to put a touch of UV on this back portion of the lead wraps. Basically just enough to soak that in. And again, this is the Solaris Bone Dry, which is probably my favorite of all UV resins because it is nice and thin and soaks into places nicely. I'm going to cure that. Okay, and then from here, we're just gonna stack in a bunch of materials. This fly actually doesn't take very long to tie.
Ron asked if you could glue the cone like we've done in the past. If you didn't, you could.
Yeah, you could.
Drop UV down, don't have any weight.
Yep.
Definitely an option.
Yep. And some of the reason for the cone where it is it's actually creating a ramp to spread the material out and get a little bit bigger profile in the front end of the fly. So no matter when it hits water, obviously when this hits water, it's going to thin down, but it's never going to be able to fall flat because it has the cone in there to hold it up, which is the design behind it. Okay, so we have actually 3 different colors of flash. We've got this kind of copper color, so I'm going to grab a long strip of that. I'm going to cut it in half and put this guy on here, just so we have some some flash here. I'm just gonna wrap it around my thread. You'll see I've done quite a few times. I've done this kind of method of tying in flash or things like that. And I'm gonna grab 2, pull them kind of to that far side, but you'll notice I'm not pulling them right down the side. I want to have them off to the edges, but still up on the top portion of the hook shank. I'm gonna leave those long. Now I'm gonna go over, we got some gold tinsel. I'm gonna do the same thing. All this flash is hopefully just gonna kind of shine through the fly. Wrap this one as well, it's being a little stubborn. So no real rule on how much flash you put in here, guys. You're just kind of adding what you think looks good. You have lots of it in your kit. And then we also have some pearl flash, so I'll grab a few strands of that. And I'll put this out the back. We're gonna leave all of it long, and we will trim it later when we taper the fly out. It doesn't all get wound up. There, we got those on. Trim out the fronts of those pearl ones. Once you got a good amount of flash in there, I'm just gonna pull it all back down this way, grab my hair clip, and just hold it out of the way. Now the next thing we're gonna go in here with is a piece of marabou. So you got some of this tan colored marabou in your kit. So in this fly, we're trying to actually emulate basically a juvenile brown trout. And so the color scheme that we're using is gonna basically look like that. So we're going to palmer this, and we did this a couple of flies ago. So I showed you how to do this. I'm going to come right here to the tip of the feather, not stripping any of the material down, just pulling to expose the tip. Okay. I'm going to take that tip, pointing the underside of the feather back down the fly. I'm going to secure that tip in. Take a couple thread wraps down it to secure it. And I'll come in here and I'll just trim out, excuse me, just that tip. Take a few more thread wraps forward towards the eye. And now I'm going to actually palmer this. And as I go, I'm going to moisten my fingers like that with a little bit of saliva. And I'm going to just start wrapping forward and stroking the fibers rearward. But be careful not to pull too hard on the stem, because the tip of the stem on a marabou like this is actually quite fragile. And I'm just going to wrap forward. There's no real number of wraps here that are like a crucial number. I'm just going until that stem gets too thick, and then it actually would want to probably crack on me. I think that's the last wrap I'm going to get out of it. So once I get there, I'm just going to bring my my thread across, get a thread wrap behind it, in front of it, and as always, repeat that process. And then that's basically going to mark the end of that feather for us, and we can just go in and carefully snip out at the stem. And then I'm going to draw all of this marabou back down the fly. And I know we wrapped it around the whole hook shank, but we're actually going to draw it up onto the top half portion of the fly. So I just grabbed it all, I lifted it up slightly, and I'm going to take some thread wraps back against it just to make sure it stays down the edges, but not down underneath. So all of this is going to stay up high. Reclip that stuff back down. And anytime you add a little bit of moisture to this fly specifically, but also to marabou specifically, you can get a very good look at what it's going to look like.
That's true in many things.
It's true.
So Adrian said, did anyone win the costume contest? And yes, there was a young lad down at the fly shop looking oh so dapper.
Yes,
and that was the winner of the dress up night, taco night, last Tuesday.
Tuesday
When have we ever tied on? What happens in 2 weeks, Tim?
2 weeks?
100 episodes.
100th episode. That is insane. Honestly insane. Seems not real, actually. 100 episodes. Okay, so next material we're going to go in here with is, this is actually, you're going to see it in your kit. You got some in yellow and you got some in tan. This is Icelandic sheep wool. Okay, so this is, we're just going to grab a decent clump. Again, remember, less is more on this fly, so we're not trying to use a crazy high amount of it. I'm going to put yellow on the top and the tan on the bottom. So we don't need a ton of it. I pulled off a little piece here. I'm going to basically hold at the butts, and I'm going to trim this flush like so. Now, when I tie this in, you'll see I have my thread all the way up here. I'm going to bring my thread back down slightly, and I'm going to leave it hanging there. So when I tie this in, I'm leaving this up against there. Not a huge bump, because I don't want to have this massive bump underneath all this, but it does help create a little bit of bulk in the head of the fly. So I'm going to take a wrap over top of that, a second wrap. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of come in here with my thumb, and I'm going to spread it out to make sure that it covers down the edges of both sides, but doesn't go down into the bottom. So I'm just going to kind of wiggle it back and forth, make sure, yep, there we go, covered both sides. And then I'm going to come in and pull tight. A couple more wraps, pull tight. And then I have a bit extra that I don't like in here. There's a little wrap over in there. I'm going to take just a little bit of that out so you can see it kind of flushes back with the material, but that's going to help keep a little bit of the bulk there as well. So I got that. I'm going to flip it upside down. And don't forget here, guys, if you at any time need us to stop or answer a question or do anything like that, just give me a quick SOS. We'll drop it in the comments and we'll stop. We'll answer the question, give you a chance to catch up or whatever you might need. So don't forget that you have that option as well. Okay, so now we're going to repeat this. Now I know this is really long out the back here. Don't worry about that, because we're actually going to trim it to a bit of a taper in the back of the fly. If we were using something like that raccoon or some Arctic fox, then we would actually just use the full length of it because it's a much shorter hair, whereas this is quite long. So now I'm going to go over to my tan, and I'm going to grab a piece that's pretty much as close as possible to the amount that I had on the top in that yellow. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut it to flush up the end. like so. Get that out of there. Got a little bit extra hanging out. Get rid of that. You want to challenge yourself sometimes. Try cutting with your scissors with your opposite hand. It makes things more challenging. Now I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to bring it in, lay it in the same spot. Take that thread wrap up and over. Being careful not to mess up with the material I already put on the top. Just 2 wraps because I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to brace it and move it around and make sure that it basically flushes up. You can see it's flushed up against the yellow material. Then I'll take another wrap, pull it nice and tight. Now I'm going to separate these two. Bring your thread up to kind of the halfway point. So if I was doing it on your side, I'd bring it to like here so I can pull it in front of those 2 materials. Okay, just bypass that. I'm going to take a couple of thread wraps right there. I'm actually going to get that out of there for a second. Pull those back. Now these guys are just going to be kind of in the way here for a second, but I'm going to pull them out of the way. We're going to trim them here in just a moment. I'm just actually going to come in here and hold it out of the way because I want to do a quick little half hitch here just to save that work because I don't want that stuff to come out. Do one more. We do have a little bit of work there to do still at the head, but I'm going to set my thread out of the way for the moment. Now I'm going to bring this back in. Now I need to pull. You see I'm going to kind of come with my fingers and pull this bottom material. So half of it goes on one side of the hook and half goes on the other. And I'm just going to keep kind of working it until it spaces itself out and comes out like this. Okay, so I want all this material to flush back this way. So now you're starting to see that whole bait fish take its shape. You got your flash going laterally down the fly. You've got your...
How's the temperature? Because I can't feel my toes.
Are you cold? I feel good. But that's if you need to close the window, close the window.
OMG.
So that's what's kind of cool at this point, guys. You start to see that fly taking shape. Okay, you see that bait fish appearance starting out of this. So I'm going to pull back on this, bring my fingers down, and I'm going to take some thread wraps right up against it. And ideally, I want to get like 1 wrap to be just up on top of that material because it's going to help hold it rearward. So you see how I got 1 thread wrap over it there. There we go. Got 1 wrap over the white on the bottom. Come on, 1 more. And that's going to help hold it in place. At this point, what's going to help me hold this shape is and I don't want to lose these wraps. I don't want them to slip off this kind of slippery wool material. I'm just going to touch a little bit here with some resin, top and bottom. That's going to hold that shape for me before I come cure and continue and finish the head. So that's there, that's good. So now I have my shape held there. I'll bring my thread back forward. Do 1 more half hitch now. Get that out of the way. And now I'm going to trim my profile in here before I go and build the head. So what I want as a rule here is I want this fly, I'm going to try to get it to finish in length about the same length as the hook shank back from the hook. So if I'm measuring, okay, that's where that is, double it right here. This is where I want my fly to finish. So I could like cut it straight, I would know that's where it's done, but I want to build a taper. So I'm actually going to start my scissors farther back and start sliding them, and every little bit I go, I'm taking little cuts. And as I go back, little more, a little more, a little more, a little more, when I hit the top, make my last cut. So that should have cut not only all the material, but it should have finished by cutting that flash, and the flash should be just about the longest thing in that fly. So like I said, right now, it's all kind of bushy and not streamlined, but when you get it wet and you pull it back, that's going to be the shape you see in the water. Sorry, I got a bunch of fuzz on my tongue. So don't worry about what it looks like at the moment. When it's wet, it's going to pull back and look a little different. So the last thing I need to do here is I need to build a little bit of a head. So you've got some dubbing in there. Now, different dubbing will work a little bit differently for you. There's different recommendations for dubbing. What we could find and source for you guys is like this crystally colored dub, okay? Now, it's not super long fibers, so if I pull it apart, you can tell it's not super long, okay? It's actually quite short, but I'm gonna pull it and stack it, okay? I'm gonna build a little bit of gonna kind of roll it in my fingers. So I'm left with something that looks kind of like this. I'm gonna switch over and I'm gonna tie it in a little bit longer off the front than the back. Take a nice little clump for the top there. Flip it upside down. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. We gave you tons of dubbing, so you have about enough for 1,000 flies and many things more. So we're going to pull that, do the exact same thing. I'm going to roll it in my fingers. That just kind of cords it up and kind of helps it hold together a little bit. So when I go to tie this in, I get a little bit more structure out of it. I'm going to tie it in there. Then I bring these back so I can see this a little better. I'm going to pull that rearward. And I'm going to hold it like so. So you can see I have some blank spots in the sides. You could go ahead and put more dubbing there. I'm not too worried about it because that's actually where I'm going to put my eyes. So you got eyes in your kit as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this here. I'm going to finish off this fly. And then with my eyes and my resin, I'm going to get that head to hold back out of place. So I'll grab my half hitch tool here. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So we're pretty close here. Now I'm going to snip out my thread and I'm going to go over to my resin. So first off, I'm going to take my resin. I'm going to pull this all rearward, get out any of that extra fuzz, and I'm going to do just a little touch here at the front. I like to keyer just a little ways up the head. I get to create, by doing it this way, I get to create the actual form of the head that I would like, and it'll hold it in place a little better. So I'm going to put a little bit of resin as I go back. You could have thicker resin doing this as well. But I'm just doing it with this thin resin. Soaks in quite nice. You can see immediately it holds its shape. Okay, so that's kind of a huge advantage of doing it that way. And I can kind of decide how I want my head to look and shape right off the start. Now I'm going to take it and put it sideways, and you see in your kit you've got some of these eyes here, just these gold eyes, like so. Little tip and trick, I always take both eyes off a package and stick them to the back of my hand. Always got them right there. So when I go in with my next resin, and trust me, you'll like looking around the table trying to find that one eye that fell off and you can't figure out where it went. So this way you always know where it is. It's on the back of your hand. So I'm gonna go to a little bit thicker resin here for
Resina's back.
Just for this, I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna put a nice little dab right there. I'm just gonna let it settle for a second. It's gonna start to kind of soak in. Then I'm gonna come in and set the eye on top of it. Then I'm going to go over to a pair of scissors or a bodkin or something like that. And I'm going to press it into the fly. Hold it down. Hit it with the UV light. And that's what you're getting out of it. Yeah?
It should be multiple times the Resina dances across the floor because she can.
She can and she should. One more dab here on my side. I'll put the eye on this side, and
that's Resina, folks. She loves the resin.
And she hasn't crashed a show in a long time. Where's that wood? There's knocks and there's snaps. Two different things. Place that eye where I like it. And before I go to cure it, I'll hold it down in place, cure it. And that's going to fill up that little gap in space, and it's going to actually make the head a little thin only on the side profile, which like we know with other patterns that have kind of shaped heads makes it kind of dart and dive and yeah, do some fun things in the water.
Why the side eye? McKenna, where did you get to on this fly? Remember, guys, just tell us to stop.
Yeah,
we have nowhere to go. We're just keeping a cadence, and
yeah, you can when you get to this point in the fly, it kind of seems like a lot the first time you do it, guys, and you realize there actually isn't a whole lot to this one. I'm gonna grab this brush and just brush out that head to kind of form it together a little better, top and bottom. Grab a little, I'll grab a little liquid in my fingers for you so I can show you what this is actually gonna look like. Yeah.
Also like do sound effects.
Also do sound.
All the ones I have on here are
not
Mexican.
Yeah. So that's what you're going to be seeing, guys.
Get the tequila.
Yeah, I don't have the tequila. And then the last thing I'm going to do on this fly, just because I kind of like how this adds to it, I'm going to come in with a brown permanent marker. I like to darken up the nose completely. And then
so just 1 sec. Did you coat the eyes with resin too? You can, except sometimes you're gonna start to make a head, like the surf candy, which is like all too hard. So
it almost becomes just a solid, almost like a fly fisherman style head, which isn't. I mean, try it for sure, but the way that this is meant to be is not that. And if you change like how you or what you build your head out of, if you do it out of, let's say, like ice dub or something like that, you're also gonna get a different kind of appearance in it. But yeah, that's how I like to finish out that fly. I like to bar it up, and it's gonna, it gives it that kind of little baby brown trout par mark appearance, and it's gonna look pretty darn good in the water. Yeah.
Did you show the semi-seal head?
Yeah, I'll show you this over here.
Yeah, it's as you evolve and you start to tie these a bunch, and then you say, wow, what's a better material?
Yeah, what's better, what could look better, what would be more useful. This is also that raccoon. So that raccoon hair tied in full length, and that's a semi-seal head instead. So that's a little bit different style of dubbing. And I have one more here that I tied with. Yeah, so this one I'm about to show you is actually the exact same material that we used, except I use semi-seal for the head. So it's a little bit fuller head you're able to use because you have a little bit longer fibers. You can make a little bit bigger profile. But yeah, that's kind of how it's meant to look. And like we said, we haven't fished this pattern before, but are very intrigued and curious by it because of the placement of that cone in it is going to give weight in a different place than it normally would. And the materials you use are very light, so it's going to pick up and let the water fall off really fast. So when I read up on Charlie's description of why he designed it this way, it was because he said, I'm an old man and it's hard to cast streamer rod all day. So trying to find a streamer that was in that 2 to 4 inches and didn't break his back.
Yeah, and so also like the question about a saltwater pattern is this came from the idea of a saltwater pattern, which is used EP fibers. I know a fly, I believe, is called a peanut butter jelly. It's good for striped bass. Really cool, though, with that cone in there, as you're going to see that cone's going to keep that head big without the bulk of a fly that holds a lot of water. And you're going to know if you streamer fish properly, which very few people actually do, in my opinion. Because if you want to come fishing on the river and you want to streamer fish, you can't go at it for 2 hours because you don't know. And streamer fishing is a game of putting in the time. Yeah. So I had a guy for 4 days last year, and he was doing nothing but streamer fishing, and he did nothing but streamer fish the entire time. And it's pretty cool to witness something like that because really cool things happen when you put in the time. So with streamer fishing, designing a fly like this that is really easy to cast, I talked about it a couple weeks ago on a podcast, was the Crelix Minnow is one of my favorite streamers to fish because it's really easy to fish. Yeah. Where if you're fishing a double dungeons, a dungeon and a leech, or some sort of big contraption, it gets exhausting after a while. Yeah. And I find people just kind of peter off. So the streamer game is a game of putting in the time and having a really cool pattern like this, which I'm really excited to give it a try, which is kind of why we put it in the lineup this year, was because it was a pattern that intrigued us. And I know a lot of people are like, oh man, mine didn't turn out. That's okay because how many did you go at before they started looking?
Yeah, it took me probably a good 5 or 6 flies before, sorry, I'll bring this juicy sounding mic in. It took me probably, at least 4 flies before they started looking better. And at first I was a little frustrated. I'm like, man, why can't I make these look the way I want them to look? But it really comes down to how you taper your tail in it. And the head is the challenge for sure. But I mean, just understand there's different ways to build that head, but the way I showed you, you should be able to. The original pattern, they legit only use dubbing on top, dubbing on the bottom. Whereas I watched some other guys who kind of changed the variation of this pattern. They actually did it more like some of the big Kelly Gallup streamers where they built like this massive, Senyo's dubbing head. And I think that takes away from the original idea, was supposed to be very sparse, very light, and a little flashy. So,
and even there, this one might have too much.
Yeah, this might. I mean, maybe this style here.
Yeah, your last one you tied was kind of.
I think that's honestly what it's meant to be. It's very thin-headed.
Yeah,
and Easy.
So comment was like the game changers, Ryan, and I think I'm understanding your comment is the biggest insta fly out there, meaning the fly doesn't like.
I mean, people love
my
them, but
least favorite fly, but it looks cool on Instagram, and it swims magically, but it just I put your hands up if you've had luck on the game changer.
sometimes
my hand's not up.
the more moving parts you have, there's just more things that can go wrong. And in my opinion, the biggest issue with a lot of game changers in trout fishing is they have a hook at the front. They have multiple pieces out the back that create a long fly. And if you put a hook, if you put a hook in the back, it doesn't swim properly because it's too heavy. So, yeah, I don't know.
George asked a question: can you use faux ducktail?
Faux ducktail.
I don't know the material,
honest.
but if somebody here does, I think that would be a great conversation piece.
Yeah, the original tail that was meant to be used in this is actually Arctic fox. And so properties of Arctic fox is it has a ton of movement with very little weight, and you tie it in backwards like we did with this material, and you push it back over, and it basically, like this guy here with the raccoon, it creates quite a big billowy looking body, but as soon as it's wet, it slims down to absolutely nothing and creates that baitfish appearance. But Arctic fox, if you've ever tied with it or know it, for what you get it's a very expensive material. So people have started stepping into other ones that don't cost so much that do the same thing.
Yeah. The cool thing that in the comments here is, and we can go back to the comment screen so you guys can see on both sides. But it's like Blake said, it's the fly everybody knows and nobody fishes.
Oh, that's so true. I love it. It's true.
I want to talk about some things I got in the bag here. Yeah, we're on it right. Because lost my train of thought.
Jill's not wrong. It's a great comment. We were talking about this earlier. It's like, man, we need a swim tank so we can show everybody how good these flies look in the water.
True. I also think, personal opinion, is the think tanks are so now we're going down the stream. Okay, good. It's a good topic to talk about. I was going to talk about floral and mono. Maybe we won't get there today. Is the swim tank works like this. A fly sits there and the waves and the current pushes at it. What you have to understand is why not everybody can be this is an opinion piece. Is why not everybody can be a fly designer is because the way that flies are designed are per fishing technique, right? So
100%.
This fly on a floating fly line might be a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's gonna just come and skip across the top. What was that other one we tied? Drunken Disorderly.
Yeah.
Really weird fly. If you've never fished it, it's weird. Okay, it only actually works when you're stripping on it. So that fly in one of those swim tanks, and this is a great thing because I wanted to get one here. I thought that would be a great way to show everybody, and we actually talked about this before the show. Was I want to get another underwater housing for my camera because in the river, as we can show how these fish under different circumstances, right? So we have bank water, which is a little seam at the bank. We have slow inside water. We have fast riffles, runs, buckets. There's many ways where to fish streamers, and they all swim different in those different situations. Mm-hmm. Do you have sink lines? Do you have floating lines? What's your retrieve? What's your action that you're putting on them? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think and we've done it. We've developed a fly together. We're working on another one right now, and the honest truth is, how many versions of it have we tied before we get there? It's because we need to go try it, use it, see it. Okay, that doesn't work in that scenario. It does work in this scenario. There's streamers that have literally been tied for specific uses: bank hitting with a sink line, bank hitting without a sink line. Shallow water streamers. Every one of them has some people. I even saw one fly fishing Ozarks, a guy really respect in the streamer world. He has one he calls the knucklehead. It's got a whole bunch of pieces of foam on the head. It looks ridiculous, but it actually, like watching it in the water, how he describes it and uses it.
Yeah,
it's incredible
how you use it. So, looking at the comments, do you smell propane?
What's up, Ali? I'm leaving to go fishing tomorrow, and he's anxious to load my propane tank for me. Lots of inside jokes there. Sorry, Ollie. I'll be home.
It's okay,
in a little bit.
It's okay. We're laughing.
It's okay. We're laughing.
All right. I heard you got a treat for him. Anyways, so yeah, you go into a fly shop and you want to buy streamers, and you're like, this is a cool pattern. Look at a Game Changer. It sells.
Yeah.
But when you get those streamers, there's a time to fish them. There's a water level to fish them, and there's a setup and a tactic to use with those flies. And that could be, you could have a book with each of those flies that you buy. Mm-hmm. Not all streamers are the same. Just because Eric loves his blah, blah, blah in Tennessee does not mean that that streamer works on the boat. It could both be trout. We could be fishing different cadence of water. There's so many things that go into streamer fishing, and which is, to me, why it's so fun. Yeah. And like I said, to start this whole thing is you have to put in time. You can't just commit to an hour and it's not working and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have a commitment level when you're working with streamers.
Yeah. Yeah, so we could go forever about streamers, and I find myself like average, below average at the streamer game. Always looking to improve, always looking to try different patterns, and mostly trying to fish them myself to just see how they work. Mm-hmm. Like Quinn always says in guide school, is think from the fly back, right? So what is that fly doing, and how are you influencing the way that fly is working? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so streamer fishing from shore, totally different than streamer fishing from a boat. Different flies you would use, different weights of flies, different materials to create bulk. All these things are just not synonymous or, parity across the board as what. And I'm gonna have to kill fly trout now.
Ruining things. Just can you remove comments? Can you remove them?
I can ban him.
Oh, yeah, okay.
What a day we had with double thin mints and back swimmers.
They happen.
He might have lost a bunch. Only the big ones, though.
Yeah.
All right, who's checking out? Mark's got to check out. He's got to head to bed. So, yeah, super good. If you do want to get the shank jaws, check out Rocky Mountain Fly Shop.
Yeah.
They will ship for free because they're probably over $99.
I would guess they are. Yep.
Speaking of other things that they ship for free, oh my goodness, do I want to talk to you guys about something epic at Rocky Mountain Fly Shop. And then we're going to go into bingo. So make sure you got your cards. The last fly takes 8 minutes. At most.
Well, how long do you take on a quick dive?
It was 9.5 minutes.
Okay, we can do it in 10.
Yeah.
10 for sure. We got it.
Yeah, it is
Easy
very
peasy.
simple. So get that ready. 140 in brown would be great. Could have been the guy in the net. Well, I didn't bring my 60-foot net.
The guy who's losing the fish always has a lot to say.
I know. Finally got back to Canada. I can watch it in a normal hour. Well, John, we're glad you're in the Canada.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is head up the screen share, and I went in and tried to fix me and you. So now,
oh, look at this.
See, I was working while you were working, and everyone's like,
good.
"Oh my goodness, Rosina's not showing up."
It's okay. Look good.
Okay. Hear me out. Watermasters, epic. Okay, for what they are. The single man Watermaster, I think, takes the cake in the industry. This is nobody sponsors this. This is just, again, personal opinion.
Your opinion,
right? So Colin and like you guys you're not even gonna get in on this because they're selling out so fast. I guess the prices are up there.
Yeah, the price up there.
So I just got the 3 models that they sell. Okay, so we spent time with Colin and the crew this fall, and we're fishing out of these and we're filming. Okay, I don't like rafts.
He hates rafts.
I hate rafts. Okay, I if I can't take a drift boat, I don't want to go. I don't think they row well. I think they're uncomfortable for the fishing people. But they do go places that drift boats can't. So I was up for it. I was ready to take on the challenge.
So saw.
Oh man, I had that all perfect before the show. I was so excited for everyone. Just hang on. Lock that so I can't screw it up anymore. I'm on the wrong. Okay, so this raft that you see here, we had it in green, which I think is super sexy, and we will have soon.
We will have one
That's
soon.
our goal.
Yep.
It's our goal is to get one of those. But check out the price.
Now, keep in mind, guys, I'll give you a little bit of comparison.
That's Canadian dollars.
I had an air raft. It was my first ever watercraft that I used and guided out of. Not the right thing for the bow, to start with that. But by the time I was all into the place where these boats were when we used them, I think I was $11,500, maybe $12,000 into that first boat. And people looked at me cross-eyed like, dude, that's a drift boat. I was like, yeah, you're right. It is. Same. I mean, you definitely could be into a brand new drift boat for that price, depending on what you got.
Yep.
But look at the price here, guys. They come out in a market where they want to like actually make a mark on it. They've created an incredible watercraft that we got to use. I'm telling you, I've rode a lot of stuff.
Yep.
It's great. But you just can't argue with the price. If you want a craft you can have more than one person fishing out of, this is the game changer.
So you probably actually can't get one in because I know Colin got a bunch in and they just went like hotcakes because this raft right here rows like a drift boat. Had an absolute blast rowing it for about 40 minutes before we got to the lake, and then weirdly I was in the raft and I had to row it for 4 hours across the lake. But I was extremely excited about the way that this raft rode. I don't know all the hydrodynamics and how the pontoons and the bloom and the contours and whatever, but I do know that this raft was a ton of fun. It was fun. I got a chance to fish out of it, and it is really good. So I just kind of plunked in the numbers for the Americans, and this one here is give or take at the dollar right now around $4,700.
Yeah, that's insane. Literally,
Okay.
I paid 3 times more.
But
than that.
remember, what's about Rocky Mountain Fly Shop is everything over what
$99
ships for free. So
that's a little over.
So there you go. You want a raft, it ships for free. It literally ships for free. This isn't Colin trying to get. I went in there today and said, I want to talk about these. Can you get more? And he's just like, we cannot keep them in stock. So if you do want one, he can order one, and I believe it's $1,000 deposit, and he'll order you one in. So, I love this color over the gray, but I mean, it is what it is. This is really a really good raft. I talked with NRS earlier this year. I reached out when Watermaster couldn't sponsor, and I said, hey, I loved your raft. I fished out of it. I rode it. We talked about sponsorship, and didn't happen. But the bigger thing is again, like, just like Norvice, they don't sponsor, and we brag about it because we'd love to share with you guys things that work. And this right here, I know, where is it? We'll click around the website here, but they also have a couple smaller ones. And so I know, Adrian, maybe you can find that comment.
Yeah, I saw one.
About Fly Fishing Mag.
He said Fly Fishing Mag talked about how smaller rafts, 2-mans, are the best way to roll.
Okay, so there's a
2-man.
We we did not get the opportunity to jump into that.
No.
But even at that price right there, I believe comparable is the Watermaster 2-man, and I think it's like another $1,000.
Yeah, it's incredible. The price.
I actually think the Watermaster was about 5,000 American.
Yeah.
For this
for that
for the setup here. Yeah. And I will say, because Watermaster's quality is second to none, but the NRS brand, who's been in rafting for the entirety of rafting since water started to flow, truly.
Yeah, a long time.
Truly.
I think one of my favorite thing about this boat isn't owning a raft before. One of a few of the negatives about the framing system that I didn't like was how you managed, where did you stand? And this has a leg locks on it like mine did, but they've created a firm floor. So it's not soft. You legit just stand on the floor and it's firm. Whereas on mine, it was a soft floor with a little platform that always leaned, and it was annoying. But really like that change in design on this one.
Yeah. So the warranty question, I don't know. It is a good question. Can the ones that we have, the single man Watermaster, every day of the week, 100%. That thing is dialed in. It's for what it's used for. But when you start to get up into the rafts that have frames like this, like the price. I mean, you're probably saving a couple grand off of Yep. There it is, and it ships for free. Yeah, those soft floors. Remember, like the leaning.
I remember.
Oh gosh, it was.
It's like you're falling out all the time.
I know.
Didn't love it.
So, anyways, there's not mono and floral conversation. It is streamers and rafts, and that's kind of how we went down that road.
Yeah.
So, if you are interested, these are really hard to get because they cannot keep them in. They cannot make them fast enough because they are going. So I'm just saying it's starting to warm up. April 1st, it opens around here.
If you're thinking ahead,
you do you. You do you.
Yeah.
And that's about how that goes.
Well, it must be time for some bingo.
It's always time for your favorite time of the night, which is Flango.
What are we giving away today?
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah,
point.
what is it back here?
Yeah, underneath that. Don't show that. Oh my goodness, don't show that, Tim.
No showing. Okay. Oh, we got some good stuff here. What is this? We have I don't know where we got this from. Where did we get this from?
That's from Troy Tracy.
Oh, from Troy Tracy. Yeah, some awesome stuff here. We got, this is a press, dress, and cast. It's that easy. This is a dry fly patch.
Yeah, some other stickers and stuff in there from Mr. Troy Tracy. We received your package, and we are super grateful
thank you very
for
much.
you and what you did for the show. That's from Mr. Blake Teague. Some Maui Jims.
Very nice glasses. We've got a shirt here.
From Alberta Fly Girl. A sun shirt from Alberta Fly Girl. Thank you, Jose.
We got is this from
Troy
Troy
Tracy?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Tied up a bunch of flies.
Awesome flies, all tied up by Mr. Troy Tracy. And this guy here.
Full of flies.
Also full of flies.
An MFC box. Open that one. That one's a bunch of Atlantic salmon flies.
Get it open here. Ooh. Flip this over. Yeah, some amazing ties in here. Awesome. Very, very nice. Well tied.
Those are the gifts that mean a lot.
Yeah.
All right, March Brown-Eyed Dundee, you have yourself a great sleep.
Yes, you do that.
You got school tomorrow, so good night.
Got a whip finish here from shore. And we got, as always, some awesome stuff here from Morning View Mercantile. We've got, what do we got in here? We got the freeze-dried chili.
Got some peaches. We got some mangoes.
Peaches, mangoes, and ice cream sandwiches.
Yeah.
Well, that's a full kit right there, folks. Lots of giveaways.
That is a full kit. So Rodrigo forgot his bingo again. The other thing is you just need a line to win. Okay? Simple. I'm going to hit 4 here right away. Mr. Troy Tracy also sent up this Dulce. Just so you know, I just opened it. I just tore the top off. I believe it is a snack from out in New Brunswick, organic dried seaweed. So I told Tim about it. We don't know how it's going to taste, but the ingredients look great. It's got lots of fiber. It's got a good handful of protein. And we're going to try it together while we wait for you guys. One line to win.
Bingo.
It can be angles, it can be straight, it can be sideways. It just has to be a line. So,
yeah. Any straight line.
Struggling. Do you have any skizzers over there?
I do. Do you want some?
I think I got it, Tim.
I even have some of your scissors over here.
All right. First impressions. I know what I think, but you tell me. I used to chew a lot of Red Man back in the day.
I'll take a piece. I'll pass it back over. We can do this together.
Yep.
It's purple seaweed.
Troy, we appreciate you sending out this stuff, and if you gagged us on live stream here by,
yeah,
it's like salty jerky.
It tastes like the sea.
That's not bad.
Well, definitely some fiber in there. Get it stuck in your teeth?
Nope. Definitely, I can't think of Redman because it...
It'll ruin it for you?
Well, now I'm thinking of Redman. And that stuff was like, all right.
Yeah, it's like... Yeah, it's kind of like jerky, honestly.
Very salty.
Yeah. And ain't half bad.
Not bad. What's it called? Dulse?
Dulce.
All right, Troy. Well, we appreciate you sending out some dulse.
Aqua veggies. Oh, yeah, lots of fiber. And vitamin B12.
Definitely need a drink while you're eating it because it's really salty.
Yeah. That's crazy. Very low calorie snack.
Cam's bringing me Red Man next time, and I'm going to punch him right in the wiener.
Oh, I've never done the Red Man. Don't think I could do it. Old Jordan loves it too.
Joe Manchinton. Red Man is also molasses.
Is all molasses.
All right, so, Doug Lindsay got bingo. Wow.
Wow, look at that.
055, call number 5. He is a seasoned vet.
Oh, thank you, Doug.
Well, Doug, you're going to... Maybe we're going to throw some dulse in there for him. We'll put some in a Ziploc and let him try some dulse. We're just going to wait and see if anyone else has got it.
Yeah, sometimes
Cam was 3 for 4 times 2. So he was so close, but he says Fudog. Fudog.
Lol.
Fudog, you. Eric would rather do Red Woman, so, well, he's coming to Canada. One thing, Eric, that you can bring from the Nashville area is, well, I'll text it to you. It's like Red Man, but it's
what was the little baby trees that we were supposed to eat? Remember? From out east? We're talking with Jacques about them.
No, those were
ferns or something?
fiddle dellies. Infidelis.
No.
They were called fiddleheads. Fiddleheads.
Yeah.
I ate them.
Yeah, I can't. All right. I actually want.
Okay, let's check it out. It doesn't look like anyone else is in on the bingo, so we're gonna go 055. Call number 5, and let's check it out. Everybody's fiddleheads. There it is. John Fuller knows fiddleheads. They group. That's correct. Mayor Dickau wins Doug the prizes.
Come on now.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Well, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. We're gonna need a little commercial break, aren't we?
Oh, I'm gonna have to slide in the candy ad there just to make sure we have enough time. We're gonna get all 3 commercials, folks, because Doug might have won.
Maybe. We'll see if
Doug, do you have
a Captain Clutch sticker? Because if certain somebody came back from vacay, you're gonna need it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is he there? I don't know. But Doug, you don't have a Captain Clutch. Well, that $50 Captain Clutch immunity sticker would have got you about $400 in prizes, but it didn't. So, anyways, you're gonna have to go see the suntan. We don't know. We'll see.
We'll
see how he shows up.
Impeach him. Okay.
Oh.
Well, let's show the lovely people some.
All right, let's head
lovely
over
sponsors.
to the thank you page.
Thank you.
Legit dude call.
Our vision for it is for people to come out here to enjoy the spot and to find peace, I guess. A lot of people ask us if we're going to get Wi-Fi out here, and we're like, no, this is a place to disconnect and reconnect with your family and with your
Look at our snack time. Brought to you by View Mercantile.
Oh, that's good. That is really good.
Dried mango, our favorite.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's amazing. Amazing. Next level.
Dried Fuzzy Pieces brought to you by Morning View Mercantile. Oh, wow, that's sour. Oh, I hit you.
Does that hit the spot?
Oh, yeah.
Ho, 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 ho.
I eat Doug for breakfast. Oh, you guys tricked me last week. I thought I for sure was gonna beat you to Mexico. And no, nobody tells me you're not going to Mexico.
Oh,
What's
boy.
happening over there?
Don't worry, I'm here to save you. You wait. I got you. I got you
Oh my
back.
goodness.
Who is this?
Who brought this little feeble warrior?
Yo, it's Captain Clutch.
Captain,
Captain
you're
Clutch.
not welcome here.
Well,
I met you down in the Mexicos and I said,
I sailed you
there's
home.
no way you're coming back with me because when I get back to the Thursday Night Live studio, I am pissed.
Well, I'm here to give some assistance to my fellow individuals
How
here.
do you do that?
I don't know yet, but
Without
maybe there'll be
cheating.
some cheating going on.
That can't be true.
Well, I don't know.
He already chose door number 3.
He did? Oh, Doug.
Maybe what you could do is try to sell him one of your immunity stickers.
Well, you could still get one, but if you don't have a sticker, you're not safe. You're
Well,
diseased.
maybe you should try to sell him one.
Well, how am I gonna sell him one?
Man, you sound so weak.
Well,
when it comes to
I
the
didn't
wizard.
get to choose my voice, so...
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Why does it still say wizard number 2?
Oh man, who knows? Ah, this voice is gonna kill me.
Welcome to my world, little fella. I've got everything you need.
Well, I'm just gonna be super cheery and
Yeah.
super encouraging towards
Yeah, see what I did?
What'd you do? Come on! Look at this! This is look weak to you! Let's go! Get some! I'll take you any day. You know this.
Is this thing on?
Bring it on, you bearded hippie.
Oh, the best part is he's already chosen. Oh my goodness. He chose door number 3.
Well, I can't help you now.
Oh, let's do, because what did you tell him, door number?
I told him 4. I told him 4. I don't think he's gonna listen. Ah! I tried to tell you, man. I tried to tell you.
Best ever!
It's alright. It's alright, dog. Next time, listen to me. Oh, it sucks, buddy. Oh, so sorry. Super sorry. Is that a... Sounds like a dirt bike. Oh, man. That's too good. Goodness.
That's oh, I got my voice
Gracious.
back. Woo!
All right.
Back to me again. Oh, I sound good.
Oh,
Sounds super good.
that was way too much fun. El Capitan.
El Capitano.
All right, folks, we got to get over to the. Sorry, Doug.
Sorry, Doug.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry,
We
sorry.
got to fly to tie.
Yeah, we got another one to tie here. Let's do it.
All right, so
I'm gonna swap you out here. No, shoot. I didn't hit that last time I swung it over there. Okay, wow. We got one fly left, guys. This one is going to be a quick one. It is a super cool little pattern. I'm going to throw it in the vise here so you can see it. This is the General Foam Attractant Hopper. So last week we tied a Fat Albert. a little bit more complicated than this one. Had a few extra steps, a few different things. This guy here, maybe move a little this way. I'll be right in the center of the white bit there. There we are. This one's a really simple pattern. Okay, super simple, very few materials, and to be honest, quite simply, with just very little changes, like in color variation, you can make this look a lot different. Change the legs, change the foam, change the thread, and yeah, you can do a huge variety on this fly. So let's go ahead and grab our hook in our kit. We're gonna be tying this tonight. We're tying this actually on a Dirty 280. It is a curved hook. It's kind of a cool little hook to tie it on. I'm gonna come back in here with my UTC 140. This is in dark brown again. Again, colors totally choice. This is gonna show through as a little bit of the underbody and just kind of where we make our wraps in. So I'm gonna start right at the eye, and I'm gonna make a really concentrated covering wraps all the way up and down the shank. I'm actually gonna go all the way down, come all the way back up, and go back down one more time. I'm only gonna go about to the barb, then I work my way back up. Basically, I'm just trying to lay down a really nice thread base to the eye. We're gonna work our way back down. It's just gonna give us a little bit more for that foam to bite into, and it also gives us a little bit more of a pronounced underbody. And so then when I leave this hanging where I'm gonna tie this in is gonna be right basically there. Okay, so we're gonna be between the barb and the tip of the hook is where we're gonna leave that. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my purple foam. You got two strips cut in there. First thing I'm gonna do, so this is just a leftover from another one I tied. I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna square this off. Okay, so my back foam is straight. And then I'm gonna come in and just snip off the corners, and it's gonna give it this little bit more of a blocky looking bottom, but a little bit tapered like the back end of a hopper. I'm gonna bring this in, and when I measure this out, I want it to hang off the back of the hook shank from my tie-in point about a quarter of the length of the fly. So I pick up, okay, about a quarter. I'm gonna set that and hang that off the back about that much. Not an exact science, but somewhere in there. I'm gonna bring a thread wrap over. I'm gonna pinch it down whilst holding the foam because I want it to stay in that position. I'm gonna do 4 or 5 wraps. We don't have a ton of contact points on this fly, so one of the reasons I laid all that thread down was to try to help this bind to the hook shank because it likes to spin a bit. So you're gonna do a series of wraps there. You're gonna get that held down like so. Then we're gonna lift this up and we're gonna come up the pattern about another quarter of the way. I'm gonna make my next, kind of just making some segments here. This is our middle segment, so I'm gonna do this exact same thing again. I'm gonna bring it over, I'm gonna pinch the foam up on top. Then I'll do a series of wraps on top of that, probably like 5 or 6 wraps. So I should be left with this guy looking like that. From the underside, looks like so, okay? And now I'm gonna cut the distance in half one more time between the front eye and there, and I'm gonna make another segmentation there. Gonna be a similar size to the last one. Take a few more thread wraps. Now I'm gonna lift this up one more time, go right to the eye of the hook. Lay this back down. And don't forget, guys, again here, just drop an SOS if you need me to slow down. If you want to take a second and catch up, because we don't have anywhere else to be. We're here for you guys. So if you wanna, this is a simple pattern, but at the same time, we can definitely slow down for you. So I'm gonna come right to the eye. I'm gonna get my last thread wrap in right at the head. And kind of like some other flies we've tied, like what's another one? Amy's Ant has a bullet head we tied. This is a similar style of head.
The stone flopper.
Stone flopper, same, yeah. So we're gonna make a bullet head. So this is eventually gonna come back over top. I'm just not gonna quite do it quite yet. Now, what I want you to do is we need to get back one more bump because that's where the bullet's gonna be tied and the rest of our materials get tied in the bump just back from the one we created. So the trick to doing it, and I know we've talked about it before, but what you do is on the top side, so you don't show anything weird on the underside that the fish is gonna see, the top side, I actually just cross over the foam like that and get in that next groove. So from the top, you can see that mark. From the underside, you can't see anything, which is kind of the point. Okay, so now that we're back here, first thing we're gonna do is we have some deer hair we need to tie in. So you got a little patch of deer hair in your kit. Really not using a ton of this, definitely less than a pencil width. Probably about a half of a pencil width I'm gonna grab here. It's kind of, the deer hair we have in here is a little bit coarser. has more under fur in it. So go ahead and pull that out, which I just did there. Set that aside, and we're gonna stack this right away. So I'm gonna get this, put this in my shore hair stacker. This is the small sized one. It's a little shorter hair. I'm gonna give it a couple of wraps on the table. A little bit of fuzz hanging out there. Wrap it again. I'm gonna bring it up so that the base of the hair stacker is pointed back towards the back of the fly, because that's the way we're gonna orient and use this. And now you can see the hair is just hanging out right there. So I'm gonna reach in there and grab it. And now I got the tips locked in. The tips are gonna stay where they are now because of how I'm pinching them. Make sure I get all the rest of that under fluff out of the hair, like so. And now just get comfortable switching hands with the hair all the time because we're gonna do this a ton. I'm gonna switch hands over, make sure I got any of those uneven ones out. Now I need to measure this so that it extends just shy of the back of the fly. So again, I'm gonna switch hands, but every time I switch hands, I'm pinching, releasing, sliding my fingers back down, re-pinching. So at all times, every time I do it, the tips stay aligned. So I'm not worried about them moving. So if I come here and I measure that, I lay it down, I like that. It's hanging out pretty close to the back of the fly. Shorten it just a smidge. I'm gonna switch hands one more time. I'm gonna mark that as my cut point because I can see exactly where I need to cut. I'm gonna cut just beyond it, like so. Reason I like to do this cut first is then I can lay this back in at almost like a little bit of a 45. I come in here, spin my bobbin towards my hand, thread wrap up over top. It gathers all the tips of those hair, like so. Okay, now like you're probably thinking, well, those are standing straight vertical. That's very true, but that'll change here momentarily. So that right there is the wing. That's gonna lay back down the fly here in a minute. We do another little change. Now I'm gonna go over to my legs. So we got some just very simple red legs here. Whatever you have for legs is fine. You can bar them up, you can do whatever. I'm just gonna use these plain colored ones. I'm gonna tie one in on the near side of the hook towards, or far side towards you guys. Tie it in right in the middle so it's kind of half and half in length. We'll trim these up to size in a moment, but get a couple wraps so they stay in there. You can see them like that. Flip it the other way. We'll do the next one. Oops, I grabbed that one, dropped it. Tie this guy in here. The nice thing about legs is you can often move them around even when the pattern's done. I am going to put some resin on here, but right up until it's done, you can pretty much move these around and get them to where you want them. That's how I want these legs to be. Just calls for them to basically be simple in, spread out. You're getting 4 legs to come out in total. And one more little step here, we're pretty much done. I'm gonna bend this foam back over now, okay? And lay it right on top of that hair, pull it back. And right where it is, right where I've tied in those legs, I'm gonna take a securing wrap. 1, 2, 3, pull tight. It could move our legs a little bit, so we'll readjust them. Now I'm gonna lift this foam up. I'm gonna slide my scissors in behind it, but not up against the hair because I don't wanna cut the hair. And I'm gonna cut just a little bit of a point in so I can cut an angle on that side. Cut an angle on that side. So as you can see there, just a little point on that, holds that wing back a bit, like so. Now the last piece of the puzzle here, guys, we got a little bit of cider foam. Okay, we got a little orange foam in your kit. Just go ahead and grab yourself a little piece of it, about a 1/2 inch long. I'm gonna make it a little bit thinner because I don't want it to be as wide as our fly, so it'll be a little bit thinner in shape. I'm gonna come up here, I'm gonna place it evenly spaced right on top in the same place. Another thread wrap, I'm gonna do a few more. Secure it in place. And I'm gonna whip finish this fly right here. A tad bit of trimming, and this pattern will be done. And this is the general foam attractor hopper. Okay, lots you could do with this fly, so many variations in color. But as you can see, it's a very simple pattern as foam goes. And it's gonna ride pretty decent actually, because it's just basically all foam and a little bit of hair. Not a lot of other materials in here, obviously. So in trimming this cider, I'm gonna come in, cut the front portion fairly short, and I can leave the back just a little bit longer than the front. So it's gonna sit like that, okay? And then for these legs, I wanna bend these back ones back. Just make sure those are centered. I take the 2 legs and I bring them all the way back to the back of the fly, and I'm gonna cut them off so they're even with the back of the foam. Okay, and then the front ones, I'm just gonna bring them together. Actually, I'm going to cut one. I want these to be not significantly shorter, but shorter than the back ones. So look at that. Yeah, I like that. Just a little bit shorter. So then I'll bring the two front ones together so I can measure where I had cut that other one and match them up. Now I'm going to come underneath for my last step, as I'm just going to put a little bit of resin just on that last tie-in point. And then I'll show you the underside of this and what it should look like. I'm going to cure that there, so those legs aren't going to move, the hair's not going to move, and that last tie-in for that foam is secure. I got that done. Now take a look at that underbody. We have some really nice segmentations, and you can see how that thread color just aids and changes in how you would like those the hopper to appear. So that is it, guys. That is your GFA Hopper. Super good bug and a super simple tie. So that's no excuses not to have a few of those lying around. Yeah.
But if you do have excuses, then what?
I don't know. Get rid of them?
Well, you could essentially get a kit from Rocky Mountain Fly Shop.
That's true.
Switch your mics before I punch you in the...
Spilled the coffee for a second time. Who put a coffee cup over here?
You did.
I don't think this is mine. That's you.
Yeah, sure. Okay, cool, bro.
Cool, bro.
All right, so I'll spill it over here on the electronics. You burn a cat. I'll spill this. Delete all the show.
All the programming.
Why? I'm not in here. That's weird.
Get in here. Come on.
I'm coming hard, quick. Here we go.
Yeah, good one.
All
I
right.
like that one. Nice, easy pattern.
So what we were saying was no excuses, because if you bought one of these kits for around $10 Canadian, so $7 American, you could have 6 of these in your fly box, because they're really easy to tie. They're simple, and
they're good.
And they work.
Good. Yeah.
And they work.
Really good.
So it's kind of how she goes when she goes. Anything else we need to talk about?
We had some good chats today.
Yeah, I thought effectively to recap the show, we can say that IF4, March 25th. Make sure you're there. It's a full day event. I'm telling you, share with your friends, your grandma, whatever. It's all ages friendly. Jose will be there with Real Kids Adventure, Real Adventures for Kids, and she'll have stuff at tracks set up for your kids to go get into and to play with. Morning View Mercantile will be there at Rocky Mountain Fly Shop in the morning, selling all of their freeze-dried goods. So if you have been curious about, if you've been freeze curious about all the stuff that we've had on the show, they'll have it there, plus a lot more, because it's right now it's kind of hard to get their stuff. So there, and then we're gonna head down to the theater. 11:30. We're going to go to the theater. We're going to watch some epic shows from IF4. And then after that, we're going to walk over to Trax Pub, and we're going to get to congregate, commute, be friends in human existence.
Person to
which
person.
Feels so
incredible. Yeah.
Incredible. That's what I was going to say. And probably enjoy some cervezas, giving away lots of prizes, as that's what we do. The wizard may or may not be there.
If I had to make a bet, he might show up.
He might show up.
He's a bit of a guy, you know.
But anyways, that's kind of how it goes. Then we tried a really interestingly difficult, effective. Some of your streamers might look like this. That might have been mine. But at the end of the day, it's an effective pattern. And then we talked about streamer tactics and using streamers appropriately, and not just going into a fly shop and grabbing a bunch of streamers, because they're all designed to fish different for different waters, different rivers, different speeds of rivers, different kind of tactics and setups, different times of the year. Fish are animals and they react differently to the environment. So a lot of those things, bingo, how'd that go?
Well, if someone had listened to me, it might have gone a little better.
That's a good point. You did give it away.
I came out here to help you. Was I right? I guess we'll never know.
You are the captain.
I'm the captain.
You are the captain.
It says right here.
Yeah, see, Captain Clutch.
I'm the captain.
That's the most epic costume.
The shirt's so comfortable.
That
That's
is
the best.
Literally the most epic costume to date.
Yes, it is.
The Captain Clutch. And then Doug crashed and burned on the Doors of Doom.
Yeah, it happened.
So remember, on the 100th 100th episode, which is in 2 episodes from now.
Yeah, not long.
Okay, 100.
100
episodes. We've been here hanging out with you guys.
Crazy.
So yeah, if you guys aren't here, there's nothing. And we keep saying that, but it's true. The TNL fam is the jam, and I'm feeling like prideful right now.
Well, yeah, we should.
Oh, but I'm also kind of anxious that I gotta prepare some sort of epicry for the 100th episode, like a birthday cake, baking cam, 100 episodes.
It is. Yeah, we're talking about it earlier, but it's 100 episodes in front of you guys.
Showing up, and you guys showing up, and most of you show up every single night. And that isn't lost upon us because it motivates us to keep coming, to keep hanging out, to keep striving to do this. If you could sit here and see kind of how small this space is. But the cool thing about the 100th episode is I believe Rocky Mountain Fly Shop is giving away a $1,000 shopping spree.
What?
If you beat the Doors of Doom.
Oh, if you beat the Doors of Doom.
And there's a lot of doors in that one. Yeah. Remember he said this? I think there's 57 doors or something.
Yeah, 57 doors. That's still really good odds.
You have a 1 in 57 chance of winning a $1,000 shopping spree at Rocky Mountain.
You don't get that at Lotto Max. No, you don't. Huh. Yeah. That's cool. What is your win for the week?
Justin, better come and hang out here. Come up to I-4, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
I know you're busy, but I miss you, and I want to come, and I want to see you and hang out with you.
True story.
Troy, thank you so much for the gifts that you've given us to give away this week. Extremely kind. Even Troy sends the stuff, and then he puts in money to help pay for the shipping. That's TNL fam.
Incredible human.
Yeah. You
thank
can't,
you, Troy.
Yeah, it's just gestures like that. It's this whole keep paying it forward kind of idea and mentality, and we're just happy to be part of this cool circle that just keeps giving back.
Yeah. No, the community is everything, and if we haven't learned that after the last couple of years, shame on us.
Yeah. All right, so wins. What are wins?
What are wins?
What are wins?
Wins, it stands for something really important. So what is important now?
What is important now?
And that just could be anything in your week. We come here to share in this fellowship of time where we can, you drop them in the comments because we're gonna read them out after we share ours. And it's just a really great way to go into your next week and reflect upon the things that are happening to you in real time, and to remember to be thankful because although sometimes things don't feel great or seem great, there's important things that happen every day, and you just gotta grab onto even the little things because sometimes
you gotta notice. And through doing this, even for myself, it's not something we planned to do. Was hey, let's do this. It's just something that we kind of started doing, and it's caused us to focus on these wins.
Yeah.
Which to me is changed, and it gives me perspective, and it's a fun thing because all week I'm like, man, what do I get to share with everybody?
Yeah.
So as always, Tim, you go first, and no, the IF4 is not sold out.
It's not sold out. No, you should still go show up.
Tickets, call RMFS. They will put aside tickets for you, or just show up and get your tickets at the door.
Yeah. Okay, well, what was my win for this week? Well, to be honest, starting last Thursday, I've been pretty much in bed all week, dying and suffering from a man cold.
Yeah,
so,
the man flu.
The man flu. It was real. But I'm super thankful. Even coming up to today, yesterday, I was feeling kind of ups and downs and feeling crummy yesterday again. And then I woke up this morning and just felt pep in my step and was excited to be down here and be doing the show. And I have felt great. I haven't taken any medication in like 8 hours.
Nope.
I think I'm on the mend. So
that's a good point. Because tomorrow is what?
It's Friday.
What are you doing?
I'm headed off to Manitoba.
I'm excited for you. And you get to take Ren.
I get to take Ren this time. I'm going back
She's still holding strong.
Yeah, she said she's feeling good today. So getting to go fishing with the boys and take her out to a really cool place in the world. So Northern Lights might be there. Excited for that. So
Yeah. So Tim's going to drive far away to stare at a little circle called ice and fish it.
And maybe catch big fish.
Super excited for that. I'm excited for your opportunity to go do things you'd love.
Yes.
Still waiting for my invite because
you know it's a standing invite.
Haven't been invited yet.
So, folks, this is how he gets around coming.
Yeah.
As he says, I'm never invited.
Just not.
He's always
Hey, you guys,
invited.
Am I invited? Nope. Literally. All right. Wins of the week. I think another win was you kind of had an experience like I did last week.
Yeah.
The other night.
What did I'm blanking on what was yours last week? Oh, yeah. Yeah, just...
Without going into it.
Yeah, without going into it. The same person that Dana talked about last week. What are the chances of running into him in town? And, it was one of those things where I saw him and he's going through a really tough time. A lot of family stuff that's been very hard to watch for him, and literally put a hand on his shoulder, and we were both in tears together. We didn't have to say a lot because there wasn't a lot to say. But he reached out and messaged us later in the day and was just super thankful for the community, thankful for us, and it's important to be there for those people.
It's pretty cool, right? That you can...
Yeah, it doesn't take much sometimes, just be there.
What's important now, and that's very profound in the situation.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah. If you're a praying kind of person, you might want to throw some out for one of the TNL fam. Because their family really, really needs it right now. If you're just an energy vibe kind of guy, girl, send them our way down in the area here. All right, so wins for me, a couple of them. I remember the first one. Okay, so they're kind of the same. Last weekend, we got to spend the weekend in Calgary at Matea's volleyball tournament, and I've talked about it in the past, and I think it's really cool when your kids play sports, something I grew up and made a living out of, and to, it's not the same sport that they're playing, but just to get to watch them be in a group of people, of their peers, where they're challenged physically, mentally, spiritually, all of the above, and to just be an observer and see how they interact and react. So that was it's always fun. I love doing that. To add to that, Aaron showed up on Sunday to watch Matea. So it's always those little serendipities that are, really cool to just hang out with your friends. They're going to come spend time hanging out with your kids, which could be boring for some people, but means a lot. The other thing that I realized, and kind of like that all encompasses this, is my win of the week is I'm a stepdad. So technically not really my kids, and technically not really the dad. It's not lost on me what's the right word? It's not opportunity, but the privilege that I have, that Janine has trusted in me, that the kids have allowed me to speak into their life. And if anyone else out here is a step parent, you kind of know what I'm going through, because it's an interesting place to be. But I just want to say that that's all encompassing of it. The win of my week is this kind of that time with them, and the realization that it's a privilege to be allowed to speak so much into their life, and just freaking love all them. It's really cool experience, and I feel very grateful for that. The W.
That's a huge W.
All right, I'm out of breath.
That's not true. There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah. All right, now we read your wins and get them out of the top of there.
I'll start you off. So Ken, he said, I almost missed you guys because of the time zone change. My win each and every week is that you put up the quick ties, which is a great help. Thank you.
100%.
Of course.
That's awesome. Again, all the quick ties, all these flies that are tied, they're on our YouTube channel. They'll be up within a day, and you can go back and watch them. That's to say, you can read them too on Mondays.
That's true, you can.
For those. Jacob, my win this week was watching my son getting so excited about junior high and all the options in the classes. Also thankful for this amazing fly tying community. Yes, 100%.
Cody said, my win is going glamping and ice fishing with my wife and youngest daughter this weekend. These are the trips I live for.
Yeah. That's parlays what I just talked about.
Heck yeah.
Mr. Ploy. My win is that my wife bought herself a fly rod and I didn't even tell her to.
Oh, attaboy.
Does she know she bought herself a fly rod?
Yeah, was it just on her credit card?
Yeah. That's a good point.
Well, I hope, Mike, she chose to do it, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Adrian, my win, had a great adventure backcountry snowboarding yesterday with some good dudes. Great few days off with the kiddos. I'm so blessed with my little family and all.
Hillbilly. It's a big one. Win of the week. That's as small as it gets. His phase. A bunch of wins this week. Spent the weekend out ice fishing with the family and friends in the new trailer. Didn't freeze to death and had a great time. I'll put that back up here. So super proud of the great humans they have turned into. Both the kids had birthdays last week. Went for a date with my wife yesterday. Even if it was just dinner, it was a good night. We don't do that as much as we should. Life is busy. Caught up on my quick ties, and I even tied along tonight with the hopper. And I kept up. OQP, LPCF, and have a great week, everyone. Super love his wins. Like, just.
Yeah. I love that when Andy started watching, I don't even know if he knew what fly fishing was.
No, or fly tying.
And he's just
his
jumped
ties
in.
are epic.
Yeah,
it's a testament to what it does when you want to learn.
I'm proud of you, man. It's awesome. Those are some good wins. Mr. Cam, no win this week. Just asking good vibes. Jen's, which is his wife, his arthritis, spinal issues made a resurgence this last week, and is a lot of pain and numbness all through, and some pretty heavy meds too. She's a rock and a trooper and rarely complains, even though I do daily. At 47, it kills me that I have to see her go through it. She deserves better, and I wish I could eat all of it for her. But what I will say, Cam, is if that you were there by her side,
That's
that is a win.
That is a win. Mr. Dan. My win this week is just feeling that life is good. I am blessed.
Heck yeah, buddy.
That is a phenomenal human that we both got the privilege to spend a day with.
Call him the leech stealer.
Yeah. The donator.
The donator.
Wait, Dan, is this a Trout Unlimited event? Why are you donating all those flies to the river?
We wouldn't bug you if we didn't love you, buddy.
That's a good point.
Chaz, win. Nolan and Carolyn are my brothers. I get to live and serve my family. It's the best feeling ever. Every day is a win. I love that outlook.
Mr. Kenneth, my win for the week, quitting smoking cigarettes.
Heck yeah, dude.
I knew it was worth it when my 6-year-old said he was excited I quit. Family is everything. Thankful for my real family. And of course, the TNL fam, OQP.
OQP. Mr. Tom. My win was a good friend I haven't heard from in a long time, called just to check in on me. Good reminder that folks are thinking about us and rooting for us, whether we realize it or not.
That's an incredible epiphany.
Yeah.
And
it's people thinking about you even when you don't think about it.
100%. So to say to that, if you're one of those people who are thinking about one of your friends, reach out and tell them, hey, love you, man. I'm just here, just thinking about you. Because like Tom said, you don't realize that people are thinking about you, but that becomes somebody's win for the week. And that's cool. That's really cool. Roger, I can tell you what isn't my win, his NCAA tourney bracket. But my win for the week is having my daughter home on her spring break. She was laid up with pneumonia for a few days, but is on the mend and ready to get back to school. Awesome. Well, she probably got it at the right time where she could come home and just take a breather.
Yeah, let mom and dad take care of her.
Mom and dad take care of her.
Mike. His win, he got to spend some quality time with my wife on a Texas road trip, checking out some of the epic beauty of the state. We still click after 30 and a half years of marriage.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a long time.
Yeah. Sean made it through another one. Not sure what he made it through, but I love people catch fish.
John, he says, my win this week was hiking Marble Canyon and hooking one of the spookiest fish and not getting too injured in a fall.
All right.
That's
awesome. That's super cool. Mr. Ritzko, This week's win is that I'm glad this group has reignited my love for fly tying, but not even the Norvice will help with a dirty hippie.
Norvice is good.
That's true. We felt this would be interesting.
Yeah.
Ty.
Yeah.
Johnny Goulet.
Over the jet lag, too.
He's over the jet lag for part 2 of his win. This is Ploy's wife.
Okay, so I did know I was buying a fly rod.
Okay, good.
It was pretty and on a good sale.
Oh, wow, it's pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty. I figure why not put the freshwater degree to good use.
There you go.
Heck yeah.
There you go.
Awesome.
So we have confirmation she did know.
She did know.
She was getting a rod. Terry, win for the week was having the grandsons out at our place this past Saturday. Fun stuff.
Yeah. Fly Fisher 54. My win for the week is entering a walleye tournament with my oldest brother in July. Love my bro time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Mr. Eric, my win this week has been going to the gym with my nephew, losing some weight and exchanging fat for muscle, feeling so much better. I also always look forward to being here with the TNL fam. Planned on fly fishing in the morning, but it'll be raining. Hopefully, it's weird. Like I'm thinking it'll be minus 30 here. But hopefully next week. Dear Lord, bless the family going through a rough time, and I pray for strength and peace. Amen to that.
Man. Ryan, my win this week, getting to be a part of this great group. Can't wait to see y'all for I-4. Even though I missed out on the hotel, we'll still have fun, and we're bringing the kiddos.
Yeah, I think there's the Siesta still has rooms.
Yeah, there is rooms, and actually they're way more affordable. We'll share the bed bugs.
Yeah. Siesta.
Yeah.
Mr. Jones, my win just for everyone to have a great weekend and a week ahead. Thanks for some great company and evening, everybody.
Travis, my win this week is raising our new baby golden retriever. Got her last Friday, and she's an amazing little pup. Super fun times.
Lifetime of incredible joy and a day of really crappy sorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
John, win this week is being blessed with a number of moments that reminded me of the people as well as the love that I have in my life. It's too easy to forget that at times. That is the actual definition of the win. It's like what's important now and being reminded of that throughout the week.
Joel, my friend came down from Alberta for his birthday, and we made the trek to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Got a huge dump of snow and had some of the best conditions snowboarding. It was an awesome reset and kept the spirits high all week. Sounds
Yeah,
like a good
buddy.
time.
Bruce, longer walks at Fish Creek, chasing deer and snapping pics. He's always getting pics.
Yeah,
he's
he's
got
always
deer
getting pics.
everywhere. There's so many deer. Good deer.
Oh, dear.
All right. Wow.
Well, folks,
8:50 now.
Holy man, can you believe it?
I know. I can't believe it.
It's that little fly we tied.
Yeah,
Saved the
I
day.
know. All right, folks. Well, as Tim says, stay cool, be cool. Whatever he said in his
If you want to
quick
see
tie.
some awkward things, go. I think I'm just going to try to be as awkward as possible in the quick ties from now on.
That's what he says.
This one was naturally
Hey,
awkward. So
you just be cool.
Be
All
cool,
right,
folks.
that's about it, folks. If feel free to share, we'll throw them up on the screen. And that's what it is. Make sure you check out those NRS rafts because, so May there be ski. They're definitely
There could
people
be.
go till May long usually. So
Canada Day this year. This last
yeah,
year.
Canada Day, July 1st. They opened up Sunshine again.
Yeah, crazy, hey.
All right. We love you. Wayne, love you.
Yes.
Ryan, love you. Joe, I freaking love you. Jacob, my love
up?
for you is enormous.
Enormous.
Yeah. Well, Tim will leave you with a cliche.
I was going to leave with something good.
Okay, what do you got?
Okay, this is good. This is good stuff. Remember, like Tom said earlier, you don't know who's thinking about you, so be that person thinking about somebody. Let them know you're thinking about them.
Yep.
And be there for somebody when they actually need you, because everyone needs someone to talk to sometimes.
2 ears, 1 mouth.
Yeah.
Be somebody's reason to smile, and we'll see you guys all next week. Thursday night, 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, as we tie up a couple more awesome flies and we get ready for IF4 March 25th.
We'll see you then, guys.
Officially out of breath.
I
Can feel my body cold against the concrete, but I can't seem to get enough. My mind is fixed on what it wants. I just let you beat me. Looks can be deceiving. Let you get the best of me in bed with my worst enemy. This is a no-go. I just can't take hold. This is a danger zone. Pack up and get me home. This is a no-go. I just can't take hold. This is a danger zone. Pack up and get me. So put your hand in mine. Follow me. Let me waste your time. Set up feet. Do some stupid shit. Take a seat. Let me waste your time. So put your for your innocence, acting like you're into me. I know this is hopeless, moving in slow motion, trying to control my thoughts, but I can't stop our body talk. This is a no-go, I just can't take hold. This is a danger zone, pack up and get me home. This is a no-go, I just can't take hold. This is a danger zone, pack up and get me. So put your hand in mine, follow me. Let me waste your time. Set up feet, do some stupid shit. Take a seat, let me waste your time. Set up feet. So put your Stop it!